The Mind Monsters and Parenting OCD in Teens and Tweens Handbook. Thought I'd give you a quick glimpse into what to expect with my handbook to help teenagers and tweens with OCD. This is the front cover. It comes in a PDF format and is 90 pages long. At the beginning, I explain what OCD actually is, because it might seem self-explanatory, but what I realised when my daughter developed the illness, I didn't realise what the disorder bit meant. Obviously, the obsessions are the thoughts and the compulsions are the actions you do over and over, like washing hands or tapping or counting. But I hadn't realised it's the disorder bit that makes it different from other anxiety or a habit. It's where the thoughts get stuck. If you think of like a hamster on the wheel, it goes round and round and round. And that's the disorder bit that actually makes it OCD. I give an example of triggers because sometimes it's handy to know what sort of events can trigger an OCD episode so that you can actually be mindful of it. I also cover the importance of separating OCD and seeing as a separate character to your child, because what I found by giving mine a name, I call ours Hank, I found it makes it easier then not to do things like offer reassurance, things that make it grow, because then I just say to him, look, tell Hank I'm not going to speak to him today, he's being silly. And it's easier way really of A, refusing it, and B, your child not taking it personally. Then I cover how to introduce ERP therapy. I mean, exposure and response prevention therapy is considered to be like the Rolls-Royce treatment for tackling OCD. It's how my daughter got her life back and is now studying in a dream university in London, something we never dreamed possible in the dark days of OCD. We approached it by making a list. We wrote down every single item of OCD that we wanted to tackle. We did it on a nice coloured A4, actually I think it was an A3 sheet of card, and so that sort of made it more enjoyable for her, sort of enticed her to want to do it. We found a calm place, which in our case was a coffee shop, and we made the list and we scored every item out of 10, with 1 being the causing the least anxiety, 10 causing the most. Just a word of warning, at this stage you'll find that nearly everything will be high scoring on the list at this stage, so get your child then to choose one off the list and that becomes your first challenge. What you do then is to decide how you're going to approach a challenge. For example, are you going to reduce on a compulsion? Are you going to delay a compulsion? Or are you going to change a hierarchy? And this is the example I'm showing you today. This is one of the examples. And this is where you would change from, say, a trusted brand of spray. Let's just suppose it's Dettol. Because a lot of children with OCD will fixate on only using a certain brand of something. So then we change what we call the hierarchy. And you do this by slowly introducing another brand. So the goal in this instance would be to replace it from one brand to another, and eventually to get down to something as weak as baby wipes and then eliminate it altogether. I cover ways to reduce anxiety, because what I found when I was parenting OCD, I was told that one of the things that is a factor of OCD is when a child's anxiety bucket overspills and it manifests into OCD. So I give you some tips on ways of managing anxiety to make sure that OCD doesn't slip back in. And also what I discovered when I was parenting a child with OCD was that you very often it's a case of trying to think outside the box of how to get things done. For example, my daughter obviously needed qualifications to go on to study in a top uni in London. That's not easy when your child's attendance is really plummeted due to contamination OCD. So I also share some tips like I've got here of ways that I found outside of the box to make sure she didn't go behind with her studies and that she did go on to start studying for a dream career. This is only a small snippet really of what's covered, because as I say, there's 90 pages within the PDF. If you want to order a copy to help your teen or tween with OCD, the link is actually in my bio, and you can obviously then download it straight away and start tackling OCD straight away in your teen or tween. Thanks for watching.